This is Stephanie.
This is Andre.
And this is Table for Four Live Sessions. Well, T44 Media Production. How's everybody doing today? We're doing good. We're doing good. You feeling our shirts today? I feel like every time we have a recording, we're going to try to match our shirts or have a theme. But so far, today is what? Old school Super Mario Brothers Game Boy.
Yeah.
I've had this obsession now that I'm trying to get some Super Mario Brothers ringtones for my phone. I'm so obsessed. Anyway, welcome to Live Sessions with the podcast where we talk about different stories, topics in the headlines, what's going on in social media, our thoughts, our opinions, and everyday issues, parenting, health, and everything else in between. So we have been dealing with a lot of budget cuts lately. Now talking about if you found out what's going on from our last live sessions, we were talking about how immigrants were coming in. They were getting about $10,000 in benefits. They were getting their hotels. They were getting all these different things. And now your mom has been telling us is that now Medicaid is getting cut about 30%. So now how they giving all these other benefits to everybody else, but yet they're cutting budgets from another source. So that to me is a little frustrating, a little annoying. But here's the thing. If this happens, hospitals are closing. I think that's the majority of where the source of money is coming from in order to pay their workers. So, and working in healthcare, that's annoying. So I just hope that they find some resolution to say, hey, listen, this is the kind of cuts that we're going to be implementing. So if they're going to do cuts on one side, they got to do cuts to the other side. I mean, just saying that it's fair. But another thing in the news, you have to negotiate what you are getting paid. Here's the thing. So me personally, I've been at the same job for 3 years. So every year, they're supposedly supposed to give you a review. They're supposed to give you a raise and stuff like that. So I waited maybe a month and a half later than I usually would in order to get my yearly review. So that wasn't on a fault of their part, I guess. It's just a matter of like, this is my anniversary. Let's have a review. What's going on with my salary? So they was like, oh, Stephanie, we're so sorry. We didn't get, to you, that we didn't go do the review and things like that. And I'm like, that's okay. That's great. But when are we going to do the review? Yeah. So I feel like if you know your worth, you should really negotiate or renegotiate what it is you are worth. It's nothing. There's nothing but that. We're working here. We're working a lot of hours. We're suffering. We're paying all these taxes. Like, give me my pay raise. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So if you are out there and you haven't gotten a raise, if you haven't gotten a review, legally they're supposed to give you your review every year on your anniversary. They say, okay, Steph, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, been 3 years, whatever the case may be. When's my review coming? So you have to be on top of it. You have to advocate for yourself because nobody else is going to do it but you. So the whole BS that was going on in my job is that other people that were newer were getting higher rates. And the only reason why I knew that is because they opened their mouths.
Yeah, but you don't know if it's true or not. That person could be,
Doesn't matter. At the end of the day.
It just opens a can of worms.
It opens it. There you go. There you go. So if you're saying like this person who hasn't had the same amount of time as I have is getting more pay than I am, then what's up with that? So management was like, listen, don't tell anybody about my raise and don't discuss your pay rate. I said, I've never, ever done that. So a question we have here is that I found out that the new grad nurse had just made $2 per hour more than me. I've worked at this hospital for over 5 years. Nurses, what would you do? So here, again, you have to advocate for yourself, okay? And the other thing is that it's not about necessarily asking what everybody's making. It's just a matter of like
fair wages.
Fair wages. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
But then you also, like me, I work at a place where I'm part of a union. So
right. That's
right
different.
now we've been out of a contract for a year, so we're negotiating, and it's gonna get ugly because we want exactly what the GWI, which is the gross wage index, so we're trying to get more from what across the industry pays across the nation.
Right. What's the average across the board?
So everyone's seeing like 22 to 24% increases across the board.
Right. And what was the bullshit that they were trying to tell you?
They want to give us 3, 3, and 3.5 for like 3 years. Like, nah.
But here's the thing. But what they were telling you though? when you went to the meeting. I remember when you went to the union meeting, they were telling you is that all the other places that are increasing their wages don't have the same benefits.
Right, don't have the same benefits.
So
That's the false narrative. It doesn't matter.
I'm like,
we live in a city where in a state that's the cost of living is up there. So.
It's up there. So I'm like,
So it sucks, but eventually we'll come to a resolution.
So that's the hope. So again, guys, you have to kind of always advocate for yourself. If you know you're a good worker, if you don't take off days. That's another thing. There's a difference between not taking off days and taking days off when you're sick. If you're sick, you're sick. Like,
right.
Don't just go in and be like a trooper. It's like, nah, I'm not feeling great. I'm not coming in. That's at the end of the day. But if you come in, you come on time, you come in late, you're not, fussing with other coworkers, you're not making trouble. At the end of the day, like, ask for what you want. That's it. Ask what you want. That's it. That's it.
Know your worth.
Know your worth.
Know your worth, king.
Know your worth, queen. And there's nothing wrong with that. And the same goes across any industry, if in photography and artistry, podcasting work, whatever it is, healthcare.
Yeah, I get it. People want always the best quality for the lowest price.
Right. But sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you have to pay a little bit more.
Yeah. You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. You know what I mean? So if you're not going to pay your workers, what they deserve, or you're going to pay them shit, they're going to act like shit. They're going to act up.
Right.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, definitely make sure you are making sure you're keeping up with your pay. As long as you're keeping up with your health and your benefits, get what you're worth, king. Get what you're worth, queen, at the end of the day. So let me talk about something else that just brought to my attention about now that I'm in school. I've been in school for a minute, and I plan to stay for school for a minute.
For your whole life.
For your whole life.
It's been 84 years.
So here's the thing. In the school of life, you are constantly learning. But when you are technically in a school where you're, going to school, listening to teachers, doing assignments, things like that, something came to the effect where there was a medical school donation that was made by, oh my God, I forgot the woman's name. I think I put it on the link here. So apparently what's happening is that the whole tuition is completely free. Oh, Dr. Ruth Gottsman, the 93-year-old widow of a Wall Street financier, has donated $1 billion to the Bronx Medical School, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. And this donation will cover all the tuition for all the students going there. For the year. So I'm like, bitch, why did I not go to that school? So I don't have to pay for tuition.
Yeah, here's the video.
Let's watch that.
With you that starting in August this year, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine will be tuition free.
And the crowd goes wild.
People are crying.
So here, all right. It didn't say for the year. It said tuition free.
It says for the year.
For the year?
Yeah.
That starting in August this year, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine will be tuition free.
Okay. Until it's exhausted.
Until it's exhausted. Bro, that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing. All right, cool. There's nothing wrong with, donating or whatever, but I want to go to that school now. I want to. I with the classes I'm taking, I can apply to medical school. Serious. I want to go to school for free. But no, congratulations to everyone who's at the Albert Einstein.
It says a 93-year-old widow of a Wall Street financier has donated $1 billion to the Bronx Medical School, the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, with instruction that the donation will be used to cover tuition for all students going forward. Dr. Gottsman is a former professor at the school too.
So that's giving back. That to me, you can't get no better than that.
Yep. The donation is only the largest one ever given to the school, but also important because it's going to a medical school in the Bronx, NYC's poorest borough.
Oh, God. Every borough's poor.
Yeah.
I mean, at this rate, every borough is poor, but that's amazing. Congratulations to all the students that are there and going into school in September. And they're going to go tuition free. They don't have to worry about it. And all they have to do is focus on their studies.
Yep.
That's amazing. So another thing I want to talk about is we talked about something last week about the immigrants. I know we spoke about that briefly. But there was something else that I saw in the news. And I was just like, I was a little perplexed about what's going on. So apparently, there's an old article that was stating that immigrants did not need vaccines in order to
this is from
enroll
August 2023.
in public schools. So when I was doing a little bit of the research, I was just like, yo, how is it that this is allowed? Like, I know that the situation with our son, that he had a classmate that did not have her vaccines.
Yep, and she was
Lives
forced.
Lives
Yeah.
here. Not an immigrant. Lives here.
She couldn't come back to school
Couldn't
until
come
she
back to
got the
school.
vaccine. The family took resistance, and they lost, and they had to get her the vaccines anyway.
So now, this older
Article.
that I saw back in 2023, when literally like the masses of people were coming in, that the children that were entering public schools did not require vaccines. So I'm like, again, we're talking about pay rate again. If you do it for one, you got to do it for the other. So now if you're saying that the immigrants don't need vaccines to come in into the New York State cities, then why are you forcing the people that are already here and forcing them to get vaccines? I'm just super confused. I'm super complex. I'm perplexed. If it goes for one, it goes for all. Or if it should. It should go across the board. So here's the thing. I'm like, how are we allowing this to happen? You know, from other countries, there might be other diseases, other things that could be going on that they could be bringing into the country. I mean, that's how the whole shit started with COVID. That's how things happen. So this is what I'm very confused. If it applies to one, it applies to all. So here we go back again, just giving, permission to do other things, and then everybody else has to fucking, suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. But I want to talk a little bit more about trending topics. So it's already almost March, right? The leap year. When are you going to start your taxes? This is what I asked you yesterday.
I got to start.
So here's the thing. So my mom has been a tax, she's been working for IRS over 25 years. She does paperwork, she does businesses, she does all this stuff. So it's a shout out to my mom. If you need tax services, let us know, contact us. We can give you her information and she can get all your stuff done. So now, here's the question. What is going on with taxes? Every year there's doing something new. There's always something going on. What is going on for this year?
So the House approved child tax credit expansion. Here's what it means for you. So the House approved a $79 billion bipartisan tax package expanding the child tax credit and tax credits for businesses. Under this proposed bill, the child tax credit would raise the amount of credit available as a tax refund, increasing it to $1,800 for 2023 tax returns, and then $1,900 for the following year and $2,000 for 2025 tax returns. According to Associated Press, the bill also adjusts the top line credit amount to grow at the rate of inflation. Separately, the bill keeps a threshold of a household having $2,500 in income to be eligible for refundable child tax credit payments.
All right, Chris. So what does that mean for you? You ain't got no kids? You fucked.
Sorry.
You didn't fuck.
Yeah,
you
but
fucked. I'm
so
sorry.
there's two options because
So buddy. So mean.
I was looking at my my withdrawals thing, my tax exemptions the other day, last year, and there's two options. You could either get the tax credit at the end of the year, or you could do it throughout the year. So you'll get a little bit more in your paycheck.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So my mom knows about that shit. My mom is the one who would know and kind of give you that information about that. But I know there's another thing about small businesses that now it's about making sure that you are but that you are correctly naming your businesses. Like, for example, like if you have an LLC, you have to file a separate form because now there's
FinCEN form.
FinCEN form.
It's to prevent crime and
fraudulent activities. So if you
to make sure you're a legit business.
Yeah, because
if not, you're gonna get fined $500 a day.
So here's the thing: if you out there, do some shady stuff,
you gotta register your business.
You gotta register your business. So, yeah, just get on top of that. If you have any questions about tax preparation, let me know. You can text me. You can, send us a text, send us a message. We can send you information to the right people to help you with your taxes and anything like that. But yeah, for sure. If there's anything that you need to do, make sure you get on top of your taxes. I think the deadline for taxes is April 17th.
I don't even know. I gotta do mine this week.
Yeah, because we have to make sure.
I gotta just with the podcast though. I gotta gather all this.
Yeah,
I gotta go searching in my emails for everything I bought. It's a lot.
Which is a lot. Yeah, which is a lot. But again, like when it comes to things like that, always talk to a professional. Please don't, if you don't know how to, do your own taxes and, you don't want to mess them up. You don't want to get, recalled or get flagged. Please make sure you go to a professional. But talking about health news. So what we have in health news, we have a few sad things that happened this week that we found out. So we're talking about Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has now been afflicted with the same disease as Bruce Willis, with frontotemporal dementia with aphasia. So aphasia, remember, I don't know if you had this conversation about in our last live sessions that we talked about aphasia as having difficulty finding your words. And then they saying that because of this particular diagnosis, that could have been the reasoning for a lot of the erratic behavior that she's been having. So I don't know if you remember, like a year and a half ago, she was having a lot of issues with the show. Yeah. She was having a lot of, disagreements and things like that. So a lot of her erratic behavior, they think it was really related to early symptoms and signs of this. So super sad, but I don't know. There's no cure. That's the thing. When it comes to diseases like this, it slowly takes over the brain and, there's really no cure to it. So I hope her and her family are able to take the measurements that they can to ensure that she is doing well along the way, but unfortunately this is not a cure for that. So that's the only thing. And I know Bruce Willis, from the last time we spoke about it till now, it's been like a little over a year. Yeah. You could see the change in him. Yeah. And I remember you were showing him in social media that he's just,
his daughters and his wife is taking care of him.
It's so sad. Yep. It's really sad, really sad. But now I want to talk a little bit about some shit that's been going on. So it's been going on in my office, which has been really annoying. It's been the stomach virus that has been spreading across the nation. Okay? So here's the thing. A lot of... Okay. I'm trying to think of the right words. Okay. All right. I know in my particular practice in pediatrics, kids are nasty.
Disgusting.
They're disgusting.
German-infested,
filthy kids. Right? So that's understandable. Now, what happens is you have to have an upkeep. Like if you have certain areas that need to be constantly cleaned and constantly wiped down, you have to, because what are we dealing with? We're dealing with strep. We're dealing with COVID. We're dealing with flu. So I'm seeing a repeat of a lot of cases. So now you have the more, I want to say the stronger viruses that are coming through. So you have adenovirus is another one that affects your respiratory. You have para-influenza and the norovirus. The norovirus is the one that's catching you, making you do your diarrhea. So a lot of these things are surface touch and they like to hang out so much around. It's just like making these people really, really sick. So a lot of it can transfer into food as well, which is not cool. And if you're not doing food preparation well, you're leading into foodborne illnesses.
Is this why Adrian's always in the bathroom? Adrian's always in it. Both of them. They both in the bathroom constantly.
No, they're not constipated.
One goes in, the other one comes out. One goes in, the other comes out.
It's timing. It's
not timing.
Yes,
they be on their phones. So
you be on your phone too when you're taking a crap.
Yeah, but I just drop and
no,
and
you
then
don't. No,
I finish my video and I'm out.
No. But
these motherfuckers let the dry shit. Let the shit dry in their ass cheeks, yo.
Yo, you better stop your shit. That's not true. No, but again, but this is the thing. Like
looking like dry fruit just hanging on the...
You're so fucked up. No, but here's the thing. Like, especially when it comes to different viruses like this, what is the most healthiest way in order to prevent that? You have to continue washing your hands. You must wash and scrub, please. That's the only way to stop spreading diseases and viruses and bacteria and everything like that. You gotta sing the ABCs when you wash your hands. You gotta scrub, get it underneath the nails
like
and
26
everything.
seconds? That's what it is?
Well, I mean,
like 1 second
30 seconds.
A-B's.
Yeah, like A, B's. Yeah, about 30 seconds. Because next time, won't you sing with me?
Okay.
Right?
I got you.
So 30 seconds, you gotta scrub everything. Make sure you help, keep those diseases to themselves, because you don't want to be caught in the, what they want to call it, in the backfire.
Yeah.
in the disaster with, with these stomach viruses. You just don't want to do that. So please, make sure you continue washing your hands. Watch your surfaces. Make sure just do it.
Look at the comment says, this doesn't need to be reported. Stop the damn lying, media. Stop the damn lying.
No, they're not lying, because I've had.
But does this help you lose weight though?
Asking for a friend.
Wow, I was toe up on Wednesday. My son's on Thursday.
Yeah. It's been bad. Like it's been happening a lot in our offices. A lot of the parents and like the kids. But this is like really between like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, and they have been like between both of them have been like I've been like diarrhea, vomiting, and stuff like that. But now I know this week I'm gonna get fucked over only because last week was midterm winter recess break, and everybody's been traveling and they're gonna go bring shit back and everybody's gonna have ear infections, everybody's gonna have swimmer's ear, and they're gonna bring all this shit back because they were traveling overseas or they were traveling somewhere else or staying with their family. So I'm like, I already know this week is gonna be hectic. I already know. So make sure wash your hands, clean
And
surface.
spring break is coming too.
And oh my God, spring break is coming. I'm so excited. I can't wait. But here's the thing. Don't bring that shit home with you. Keep the shit where it's at. Oh my God. So now we're going to talk about a little bit of some weird stuff that's been happening. Not weird, but just like totally unnecessarily shit that's happening. So there has been a plethora of vaccine records being falsified. So now we're going back to the beginning of our topic when immigrants didn't need vaccines to come into New York public schools. Now we're talking about maybe somebody else that is falsifying those vaccine records in order for them to go into school. Now they got caught. Damn. So now, what is going on with this now? So here's the thing. A lot of the majority of the vaccines that are required to go to school is anything that goes between MMR, which is your measles, mumps, and rubella. Your varicella, which is for your chicken pox, right? You're talking about your Tdap, which is your tetanus, right? And then there's one more. I always forget, which is the last one they always ask for. Is DTaP, Tdap, MMR, varicella, and there's one more. Gardasil is not so much a requirement. Gardasil is more of a preventative for cancer, for younger kids that's starting at age 12 and up. Mm-hmm. But those are the really ones that they require. The MMR, which is the measles, mumps, and rubella, varicella, and the Tdap. Those are really the ones that they really focus on for school, because that's really for diseases that can be very deadly. They can have infections on the spinal cord. There's a lot of things that can happen with upper respiratory, and any terms of tetanus infection, stuff like that. That's really what they really don't want in school. So now there's this whole thing that now they have been falsifying these vaccines, and I'm like, who's getting in trouble for this? So now
somebody did.
Sure did. So now State Departments is coming in, and now they are investigating at who is exactly trying to pinpoint who are the ones that are falsifying. So it seems to be like it was linked to one midwife in particular. She's been issued $300,000 in fines for falsifying records. So now here's my thing. How is this different when people were falsifying for COVID vaccines?
Because COVID is a federal document.
Ahí tenemos. That's the difference. So now we over here talking about this one particular woman. She took the world on her own. She was ready to say, hey, listen, we don't need that.
Nope.
So people will pay. People will pay you, okay, so they can go ahead and get some false documents and be like, okay, listen, my kids want to go to school.
So who knows how long this has been going on?
Who knows?
But it says here, roughly 1,500 school-age children from throughout the state are affected by the vaccine scheme, which has resulted in their immunization records being voided. All affected children must be fully up to date with all age-appropriate immunizations or be in the process of receiving their missing vaccines before they can return to school.
So here's my thing, right? Did these kids knowingly, were the parents knowingly, not
of course,
getting
they're probably
them
part of it. They're like, they probably got word of mouth. This person does this, and they're like, listen, I don't want to get my kids a vaccine. Give me.
Go to this lady.
Yeah. And who knows how much she made on the side, too, doing it. You got to pay to play, baby. You got to pay to play.
So now it's been found this particular person, her name is Jeanette Breen. She's a licensed midwife who operated out of Baldwin in Nassau County, son. So, ooh, I don't even know. So now it looks like she was administering over 12,000 fake immunizations. Oh my God. Yo, see, here's the
That's
thing.
years. That's from
That's
2019 to 2020 school year.
just damn. Like how many times? I'm thinking in the sense in my practice. How many well visits? We have 60 visits a day minimum, right? 60 visits. At half of them, well visits, right? So 30 well visits. One well visit can be between 4 to 5 vaccines in a day, right? So our stock is like constantly being moved. That's in one day. So 30 times 5, that's 150 vaccines in one day. Imagine.
Yeah, but this is throughout the whole the last,
That's what I'm just
5
thinking.
years?
Like I'm just thinking about it in scale wise. Yo, that's nuts, yo. Yo, that's nuts. But as a parent, what would you do?
So how would they determine?
Okay, all right.
How did they find out?
So here's the thing.
Somebody got sick or something. Like,
So here's the thing. The only thing I can think of is that
because you have to attach a number of the
right. So
of
there's
the vaccine.
So there's an MRN number,
Yeah.
right, which is the medical record number, right. Then New York State has their own separate website that gives you access to anybody who's been vaccinated over the last 50 years.
Mhm.
We have access to that account, so I can see when I was vaccinated. I can see when you were vaccinated. I
So
can
she
see
would enter in it.
So she might have falsely entered in that they were vaccinated, because sometimes if you're on an EMR, right, an electronic medical record, the EMRs are supposed to like kind of not duplicate, but kind of import
Okay, so now
that information.
how many doses does one vial give?
10. Well, it depends. Like MMR, you can have single doses or you can have multiple doses. But
then if it has 10
doses in one vial,
then that means you will have a record of 10 kids
matching
that
the
the
lot
the
and expiration.
the lot number. Yeah.
Right. They might have not matched when they went into the system.
Yeah, but how did they wait 4 years to figure this
Bro,
out?
that's so.
This is like
Something
entrapment.
must have got flagged. Like something must have
It's
got
like they're
flagged.
building a case on her. All right,
Yeah.
You're just gonna let
That's
this
what I'm
pile up,
saying.
see how far she
Oh,
gets.
I know it was the other one, Hep B. That was the other vaccine I know we had to talk about. I was like, I know there was another one. I was like, Hep B. So Hep B is usually when they're given when you're born. They usually give it to you in your first 2 or 3 days of life. And then after that, I think you're only supposed to have 2 more.
So as part of the settlement, Bree has paid 150 of the 300,000 monetary penalty.
Woohoo!
The remainder of the penalty is suspended contingent upon Bree achieving and maintaining full compliance with the public health law, associated regulations, and all the terms and stipulations.
But here's my thing.
So I guess she gets to keep her job?
As a midwife?
Yeah.
I guess. No, but here's my thing. So
So it's permanent exclusion from the NYIS.
that's the website.
That's the system?
Yeah, that's
Permanently refraining from administering any immunization that must be reported to
not participating in any
scheme or
schemes.
attempt to misrepresent any individual of having received immunization that the individual in fact
all right,
has
so
not
now
received.
what happens to these parents? Now let's say they've missing like 10 or 12 vaccines. They can't all get it at once. There's no way. And then there's an age limit, not an age limit, but there's like in the first 6 months of life, you're getting certain vaccines.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're like 12 years old and I'm like, you might not be able to catch up with certain vaccines. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how is this? Yo, I'll be so pissed. I'll be so pissed that my kid can't go back to school because of something.
Well, that's their fault. That's the parents' fault because the parents knew about this.
No, but that was my question. Did they
shame
know
on
that?
you. I'm pretty sure they did.
You think so?
Of course. It's always word of mouth. Yo, I heard from so and so that you I don't want to give
So
my
they
son
just
the
got mad
vaccine.
that they got caught. All right.
Somebody snitched on her. That's exactly what happened. Some kid got sick. Oh, well, on record. Oh, wait. They got the blood samples. Whoa, this kid is not protected from. Let me see his record. Boom, boom, boom.
They looked to titers.
Yeah.
They might have something. Oh, he does not vaccinated. This vaccine lot number doesn't match this one or something like that. There was some discrepancy. It's just, red flag.
Exactly.
That's what happened. But yo, I'll be so man. She probably just mad because she got caught. She got caught. But going on in other news, we want to talk about a nurse that went to trial for mistaking giving the medication.
Yeah, this is something we were watching closely.
Yeah, we've been watching closely
The
for a
whole
while.
nursing community was watching closely.
Yeah, very, very closely. So at this point, it seems that the question is, are medical health professionals going to be
held liable
for making mistakes in terms of
even after having malpractice insurance?
Yeah. Will they still be liable for these types of incidences? Now, I don't know personally if that's the case, but my hope is that if there is a mistake or if there is some sort of not intervention, but if there is some sort of gateway to having an understanding of the whole situation, that puts a lot of nurses in fear. Like, it's things can happen. I hate to say it. Things can happen. People can make mistakes. But especially when it comes to medicine, that's like something, that's an area that you really, really cannot be making these types of mistakes, but things happen. And unfortunately, the patient that passed was simply because the patient was given the wrong medication. That's why you always have to check if there's any allergies. You have to check. You always have to double check everything. So my heart goes out to this, but I want to see if we can go a little bit more about this this case.
Spared jail time. Redonda Vaught was supposed to give 75-year-old Charlene Murphy a mild sedative before a routine procedure, but instead she gave her a lethal dose of the paralyzing agent vecuronium, which comes with this clear warning label. Vaught was convicted of gross neglect of an impaired adult and negligent homicide on Friday after a 3-day trial. The victim's family told the judge to show mercy and made it clear that they forgive Vaught and claimed the victim would also want her to be forgiven. They also made it clear that they did not want her to go to jail. Vaught was facing up to 6 years in prison. However, she broke down in court after she was given 3 years probation. Vaught's trial had been closely watched by nurses and medical professionals across the U.S., many of whom worry it could set a precedent of criminalizing medical mistakes. Nurses around the country celebrated when she was spared jail time. What do you think about the verdict?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. As a future nurse, I have to worry about that. I have to worry that,
Yeah, but at the same time,
God forbid
she
if
lost her
I-
job because of this, so she'll never practice as a nurse again.
no, she'll never
Yeah,
practice. as a
so
nurse.
that to have the malpractice insurance means nothing because it doesn't going to cover you.
So here's the question: what
It
is
was-
what is the extent of malpractice? Right? Is it supposed to protect you in this instance, or is there certain parameters of malpractice? Because I don't know about that enough to give my opinion on it, because I don't know what that covers. Like let's say life insurance, right? When you think of life insurance, what does that cover? That covers
All non-risk taking things.
right. See, there you go.
If you're a person that's like an adrenaline junkie or that takes risks,
Life insurance ain't taking no
yeah,
chances
they
on
ain't
you.
taking no chances on you.
Boo hoo. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what the parameters
Well,
are,
they will.
or
They
the
just give you a higher
legalities.
premium.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know the legality. I don't know the parameters for a malpractice. Like what do they cover? Do they cover for mistaken medication? Do they cover for limb loss?
I don't know.
Death?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So for this to happen, and what the commentator was talking about, how being criminalized for making medical mistakes, I would be in fear of just even going into work. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing: you just have to be vigilant. That's the only thing that I can't say, because I can't be in her shoes. I can't say what was going on her mind. But I would just say, please just oh my God, just be careful. That's the only thing I can say, and hope and pray that whatever is going on, and that you're paying attention, and that it's people's lives, and it's very, very important. So I was just like, that to me as like, I'm glad that she didn't go to jail, in that sense, because I feel for her, but at the end of the day, someone did die, and it's super sad. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Is this gonna happen to me? Am I ass gonna go to jail? You mean you don't know?
I don't know.
You mean you don't know?
You want me to bail you out?
You better put some bail money to the side. You better put some money to the side. Oh my God. But yeah, it's just, it puts a lot of fear in, in nurses, and just medical health professionals in general. But here's the thing. What doctors are they not held liable for other things? Or is this because it's not in the news, we don't know about it?
We don't know about it.
Yeah. All right. But
There's plenty of cases of malpractice, and these doctors are still working. You know, how is this different from the nurse? Botched surgeries and all this other stuff, you know?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
We don't.
I couldn't tell you. So going on into our next topic, our parents' thoughts. So what is your thoughts or your experience with your children on social media? So what are your thoughts? What do you think is the best thing for social media? Now, it's been in the news where Congress has kind of been trying to intervene in the process of like who has access and who is able to begin, you know, at what age, limitations and things like that. So we have a couple of short reels that we want to share with you and your thoughts. But just a warning, please. It could be a little bit emotional. There's a lot of things that are going on, and it talks about death, talks about suicide. So it's just a warning for you guys. Okay.
Yep. This is from Parents Together. This is this is the story. On Wednesday, January 31st, the CEOs of 5 major social media companies will testify before Congress about how their platforms hurt kids. So the CEO of X, Discord, and Snap had to be legally forced by subpoena to testify. And the CEOs of Meta and TikTok voluntarily agreed. That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Social media remains the only major product children use every day that is subject to no federal regulations.
Federal regulations.
The harm from these platforms is real. Parents Together work with hundreds of parents whose children have been killed or seriously harmed because of Meta, TikTok, X, Discord, Snap, and other social media companies are choosing profits over children's safety and well-being. These are some of their stories. All right, let's check it out.
Via.
This is our son, Matthew.
Look at how beautiful Miriam is.
My son Riley died from suicide after being sexually exploited on Facebook.
He found the choking challenge on TikTok and didn't survive it. He was 12.
The Instagram bullies photoshopped her head onto Emmett Till's body. We took it as a death threat.
What would I say to the CEOs?
Mark, Facebook did nothing to protect my son from a criminal using your platform to find him, coerce him with explicit images, deceive him into sending intimate images of his own, and then extort him for money.
Shoo, your app told a 12-year-old boy he could choke himself safely, despite thousands of users reporting this deadly video. You should be ashamed.
Evan, I'm one of the many moms who will never hug my daughter again because Snapchat connected and keeps connecting children with criminals and drugs.
Mark, you left those images up for days while I begged for help for my terrified little girl. I expect better from a father.
Shu, do you have any idea what it feels like to watch a 15-year-old go into cardiac arrest from the eating disorder TikTok fueled?
How many more kids like Matthew?
Like Olivia.
Like Riley.
How many more kids will suffer and die because of social media?
We need to protect our kids.
All right, so here's my initial thoughts. It's a lot to place the blame on individuals that are running these companies. They don't know your everyday activities.
I agree.
They don't know what you do on a day-to-day basis. But because they are the face and they are representing this particular product and this particular platform, that yes, most of the blame will go to them because they are the figurehead. They are the face behind the brand. Now, do I agree that these cases only highlight the issues with social media?
It does.
It does.
Because I think if we didn't have social media, this thing would have been happening on the outside anyway.
It would have still happened?
Yeah, all the bullying, all the clowning, you know.
But they're just a little bit more savvier with it.
Now they're more savvier now.
Because of social media.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this could have not been prevented. Oh,
It probably wouldn't have happened to them, but it probably would have happened to other kids. This is just another form of cyberbullying. You know, like
Well, it's not another form of cyberbullying. You're saying it's like another form of bullying anyway.
Yeah.
So if your kids are susceptible to that and they fall victim to that, then social media had nothing to do with it in the first place?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's my question. That's my question. So these parents, unfortunately, lost their kids to the influence of social media. Mm-hmm. But there's other outside influences that might have, gave them the extra push to do these types of things. Like I'm trying to figure out a way to say it.
I'm very pro of my kids not being on social media.
Well, our kids are only on TikTok, and that's because we
allow it.
We allow it.
Yeah, but other than that,
they don't have Instagram, they don't have Facebook, they don't have Snapchat, they don't have it, and we check their phones. I'm not afraid to say I check their phones. So I check their phones. So I'm not above it. You know what I'm saying? There's the iPhone is a very powerful tool, and as you can see, internet, social media, it's a tool. It's not the type of tool that you want to use for bad things, but this is just like everything else in life. Mm-hmm. Like there has to be some sort of control, and there has to be some responsibility held. Now, should these companies be held responsible for the deaths of these children?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's a line that's I don't know. I really don't know.
It's a very tricky line because however unfortunate these incidents were, they're isolated, mm-hmm. right? They're isolated to that particular person. They're isolated to the perception and to the vulnerability their children have. Now, when I say isolated, that doesn't mean this hasn't happened to other kids.
Right. These are the ones that come forward.
These are the ones that just came forward with the information.
Yeah.
So now that there's a pattern, somebody has to hold some responsibility now, because now it's not just one person saying it. It's not two people saying it. There's thousands,
thousands of people,
and thousands of people are saying it. So it's just like, I'm trying to find the quote that's like, if one person's saying it's untrue, if it's two people saying it's untrue, then it must be untrue. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Listen, I'm up for the Congress passing this bill and banning social media for 16 and under kids.
So did it go through? I'm trying to remember.
It went to the House, but I don't know if it passed.
If it ever passed.
The CEOs of Discord, Snap, TikTok, X, and Meta met by a sea of parents holding photos of children they say were victimized on the social media companies' platforms.
Mr. Zuckerberg, you and the companies before us, I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands. You have a product. It's a little extreme. That's killing people.
It's a little extreme.
The topic today, sexual predators targeting young people through social media and the blackmailing of teens tricked into sharing explicit photos. Mary Rohde says it happened to her son Riley, who then took his own life.
Riley died on March 30th, 2021, when he was a victim of sexploitation on Facebook's Messenger app.
You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures.
In a dramatic moment during questioning from Republican Senator Josh Hawley, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg stood to address the parents packing today's hearing.
I'm sorry for everything that you've all been through. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invested so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
When he stood up, he said, "I'm sorry for your pain." But I don't really think he's sorry for my pain.
The tech CEOs today choosing to keep their remarks to their testimony, not stopping for any questions about the surge in child sexual abuse material online.
Mark, is Meta doing enough?
Who did you think he was?
He said he lived about 10 minutes away. He was my age, like 14, 15, just a regular boy.
Ellen, whose last name we agreed to withhold, was 14 years old when she says she started communicating on Snapchat with a person she thought was a teen.
I'd never had attention from a boy before that, so it was all new area for me.
She says she sent innocent photos of herself, and the boys soon began sending her sexually explicit pictures.
Naked photos?
Yes.
More than once?
Correct. But his face was never in it.
Her mom, Carrie, had no clue.
She's sitting right next to me on our couch, probably talking to him.
And you didn't know?
I had no idea.
What was your first clue that something was wrong?
When Homeland Security came to my work, it turns out that a man outside of our state has been talking to my daughter and had a plane ticket with her name, and he's ready to come get her.
To take her away?
To take her away.
According to a Department of Homeland Security spokesperson, that man who had been messaging Ellen had been communicating with other minors on social media. He has since pleaded guilty to child pornography charges. Ellen is now thriving and in college, but the ordeal devastated her and led to thoughts of suicide.
I didn't see a purpose in life anymore. I just thought my life was over after that.
At today's hearing, Snap's CEO was apologetic over how the platform he helped create has been misused.
Words cannot begin to express the profound sorrow I feel that a service we designed to bring people happiness and joy has been abused to cause harm.
Snap says it does not have reports about Ellen's specific case, but called it illegal and against our policies, adding, "We work diligently to prevent predators from misusing and abusing Snapchat." On the Hill today, senators pushing for a number of bills to address children's safety on social media.
What difference will today really make?
This was a unique hearing. I think there's a major change because of those families, real people behind them, and because of the fact that the members are focusing a lot of their wrath, yes, on the companies, but on why are you opposing these bills?
So, Kate, let's talk about those bills. What are these senators trying to pass, and where does the legislation stand right now?
Lester, there are at least half a dozen proposed bills ranging from requiring social media platforms to do more to protect kids, creating a new criminal offense for distributing sexual imagery, and even ensuring that these companies can be held liable in a civil court. Tonight, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer tells NBC News this issue will be a legislative priority. Lester.
Kate.
Wow. So, let's break this down. So now, the CEO from Snapchat made it very clear that the intentions of this particular app was not for the intentions that they were happening right now.
Of course. I think any of these
and
apps,
I don't think any of these social medias had any of those
Facebook
intentions.
started in 2002.
College, when
and
we were in college. Yeah, we were in college.
And Facebook was supposed to be a platform to, I guess, to socialize
and engage with
other college kids.
Right.
Because you needed a college email in order to sign up. In order to sign up.
Yeah.
Now it's just this behemoth of an app.
Behemoth.
Yeah, which is let loose and out of control. You know, now it's the whole purpose of it is to connect with people. I get it. You know, and your families. You know, because I use my apps all the time, Instagram and Facebook primarily, and you know I have family that I talk to all the time. And there I exchange pictures and share stuff all the time. I text them personally too. It's just crazy how it just evolved.
The intention, when you say evolved, right? This behemoth. That's my thoughts about AI. This is Skynet. I know.
Skynet.
And I've always said this to you, and I've always made fun of you. But then,
because I always say Skynet. Skynet is coming.
Skynet is
real.
coming. Skynet is real. So
and
here's the thing.
You guys laugh at me, and here we are
you know
now.
what? I'm not laughing anymore. I'm not laughing anymore. So that's where I'm at. But here's the thing: the connotations of social media was to really connect people from across the board, people from across the world, like being able to have Zoom communications, being able to FaceTime. These types of communications was really the positive thoughts behind it, like the positive intentions behind them. But now, as you mentioned, it's now this big behemoth that people are now using it for malintentions, just bad intentions. And now, unfortunately, these people are falling victim to that. So now here's the thing. As parents, we had an episode where we talked about internet safety. Now, when we spoke about this, we were very diligent. We were like on top of the kids, like, listen, Do not share your information with anybody. Do not talk to anybody that you
Do
do
not
not
give your
know.
phone
Do not
number.
give your
That's it.
phone number. Do not give your address. Don't give any information, because a lot of it came down to like people getting contacted through Roblox and Fortnite and things like that. Like people you play online with. It's just like it gets so complex because you don't want to take them away from.
Yeah, now you got to watch what you say, especially when you're gaming online.
Yep.
Back then, it was like a free for all. You can say whatever you want. Now is you got to watch what you say, because then you get banned.
Yep.
And then you get a 30-day ban. I think 2 weeks, and then 30 days, and after that you get banned for good.
You get lifetime ban.
Yeah.
So now you see how those game platforms have now taken the responsibility, but like, hey, you want to act up?
Yeah.
These are the consequences.
These are the consequences. Yep.
So now I think the social media
do the
platforms
same.
have to do the same. So a completely different topic that I just want to talk about real quickly was I was reading a story about medical news about celebrity news that were being stalked. Unfortunately, the celebrity was a victim of a stalker. But what was interesting was the after story that they have, that as people that are sexual predators should be registered, stalkers should be registered as well.
Of course.
So I didn't know that wasn't a thing, though.
So stalkers are not registered.
No, I didn't know that.
Because they don't see it as an offense.
So
but
they don't
that
see-
could potentially lead to somebody getting
Yeah,
killed.
but here's
and-
the thing. Many of the victims don't press charges, or they don't talk about this in particular. So how are they supposed to get registered? How are they supposed to get this information from them if the victims never said anything about it? So now social media should do the same thing. People that are on the registry, people that are on in some sort of, you know, whether if it's sexual misconduct or anything like that, any charges, people are making up fake profiles. They're not going to put that type of information if they are a sexual predator. So how do you address that? That's my thing.
Right.
That's hard to do because people are going to lie. Kids lie to go on social media because they're saying you have to be 16 in order for you to do it. But then now
they're gonna ask for your social
they're
now? I don't know. Like
no, don't you remember what Roblox did to me? They asked for my ID. They asked for the parents' ID. I had to show them an email ID that it was me giving them permission so that they can go online. You don't remember? There was like a whole big thing. You don't remember them doing that to me?
No.
It was like a verification, and I'm glad they fucking did it. I'm glad they fucking did
Maybe
it.
Facebook needs to do that.
Maybe Facebook has to do like identification. Well, people can make
Show
fake
your
IDs
ID.
or whatever. Whatever. I don't know at this point, but Roblox made me like I had to scan my ID, send them an email so that I can verify that I'm the adult and that I was giving permission for them to play on social media, like no, social media, for them to play Roblox. And that if anything comes up, that I get an email and I get like if they got banned or something, I get pop-ups or whatever the case may be. Like I got an email. It's like, oh, this person has been banned for 7 days and whatever the case may be. And I got the notification. Maybe that's something that needs to be implemented in terms like that. Right? You have the two-step verification.
Two-step verification. Yep.
You have all these like apply it to social media. Like you can't get to certain platforms if you're this age. You need to prove that you're this age. I don't know. AI can come in and be like, give us a suggestion on how social media could do this.
Yep.
But it's very sad and very unfortunate the situations where parents are now having to concern themselves of who their children are talking to. But you always got to be concerned. That's my thing. Like, it's not like, you know, like, yeah, they talking to someone. Like, yo, you talking to? Like, you have to have communication. But sometimes these kids, they don't want to share either. These kids want to keep shit to themselves and they don't want to talk to you. That's why you have to make yourself open and make yourself aware. It's like, listen, if there's something you need to talk about, you could talk to me about it. You know, at the end of the day. But it's
my
just,
favorite line at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Talking about at the end of the day, we have reached the pinnacle of our lives.
That's it.
That's it. We hope you had an amazing time with us. We hope that you take some of these thoughts. I hope you're having these discussions with your kids, talking about social media, talking about the importance of internet safety, importance of being able to communicate. Like, don't be talking to strangers, man. Don't be giving them information. Don't give them none of that. Don't give it to them. Because then they can always, these unfortunate people that they got their pictures taken or they were, like, that's so sad. But what happens is bullying is still bullying, whether it's socialized or in real life. It's just another different method and just people being more savvy.
Yep.
That's really what it is. And people getting smarter. And that's
it.
the unfortunate thing. But I'm so happy you guys have been able to spend the live sessions with us. Again, what are we talking about in live sessions? We talk about all things in between. We're talking about social media. We're talking about health news. We're talking about trending topics. We're talking about things that affect our lives.
Falsifying records.
Falsifying records. That ain't it. That ain't it. We don't want to talk about falsifying none of that. But again, if you guys want to talk to us, if you want to join our live sessions, if there's a topic that you guys want to talk about, please let us know. Send us information. Send your information on the socials. Text us. Do what you got to do. Let us know if you want to come and join our live sessions. But again, we want to welcome you to our live session, the T44 Media production. This is Stephanie.
This is Andre.
And we will see you on the next one. Peace.